Rocky and I are starting our day. Got to take that down first. That seals up the gap in the top of the door there. All right, you. There we go. We're starting our day, we are. Oh, wait a minute. I nearly forgot. I better grab my wallet. Because if I don't, then I'll have problems later on. I won't have my money or my driver's license or anything. Okay, you. Would you like me to get you some food? I'll get you some food, okay? Just give me a minute here. He says the service here is so damn slow. You're getting a 1-star review, Tom, because your service is just too slow. You need to pick up the pace, my boy. Hey, okay, I'll get you your food, okay? I will. Oh. This is... Okay, now I gotta go past you, I think, then, because I gotta go inside, because that's where your food is. It's inside, sweetie. I'll bring it out, though. I will. Yes, I will. He's waiting patiently. Yeah. Hey, poor Rocky. What he has to put up with. This incompetence help of the hired help and everything else. Terrible. Hey, you. Okay, here we go. Whoop, no. We're going this way. Yeah, keep moving this way. Follow the bouncing bowl. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. There you have. There's your food. All right, now. I put the old Stedman's department store basket over the washers in case it rained last night, but I don't think it did. My chair would be full of water right now if it did. Plus, you'd be able to feel it in the air, really. Oh boy, that'd be dampness in the air, Rocky. Oh, now, put this here. This is sort of like Gilligan's Island, where they had the shopping cart, only it was made out of bamboo. You know, remember that? Marianne used to go shopping for the groceries there. You'd see her pushing a shopping cart for the jungle that was made out of bamboo, picking bananas off of trees and whatnot. She'd pick a bunch of bananas and put them in the cart and stuff. Yeah. It was amazing the stuff they did there, really. I mean, they did pretty well for a bunch of people who were stranded. Plus all the luggage that they brought with them for a 4-hour tour. I mean, they had enough clothing and whatnot to do them a long time. I could see them having the clothes on their backs, of course, when they got stranded. That would make sense, because they wouldn't have been naked on the tour, unless it was one of those weird swingers tour type deals. Maybe then they would be, I don't know. But, and I can see them having a transistor radio and a few other things like that on the boat. It makes sense that they'd have stuff like that. But it's weird to me. It's really weird to me that that they had so many changes of clothes and you know, and all the other stuff that they had. It's pretty wild. Of course, Gilligan and the skipper wore the same outfit every day, I think. Well, like Ginger Grant, the movie star, she had so many changes of clothes. It was wild. Nightgowns and all sorts of things, and evening gowns, and you name it, different dresses, little party dresses and stuff. Of course, Mr. and Mrs. Howell had a steamer trunk full of money, because that was Mr. Howell's wallet. Which again, you gotta wonder. And the professor had a whole science lab with him. He had glass beakers and everything else. and tubing and Bunsen burners and stuff, which is pretty wild. Why would you bring that on a 4-hour tour? You know, just in case, the need to conduct some science experiments happened to occur during a 4-hour tour on a boat. I don't know. Anyway, it was a good show, though. Used to watch it. Don't know how I got into this tangent, but anyway. Oh, the shopping cart, yeah. See, I don't know. My mind maybe isn't working the greatest. But anyway. Yeah. I hear somebody doing some loud driving. They're saying I'm cool because I can drive really loud. Yeah. I remember back in the 90s for a while there was a fad. There were these trucks with the great big tires. And there were these guys around Perth. It was a crazy thing. But there were these guys around Perth that had these trucks. I guess they were supposed to be like monster trucks or something. You needed a ladder to climb into the things. And they had these huge big tires. Like the tire would be taller than the guy driving the truck. You know, if he was standing beside it, the tire would be taller than him. And you'd see these things all over town. And I could never figure out how on earth do you get away with that, because I got the cops pulling me over just because my car is old. It's in good shape, it's well maintained and everything, but it's old. And they're saying, we don't like these old cars. We're going to find reasons to charge you and fine you and cause you trouble. Because we don't like old cars. You're not making a payment to the bank every month. And so you're not paying the bank for the use of the highways, and that's the equivalent of robbing the bank. So we're just going to punish you as if you robbed a bank, you know, or something, because that's what we think you're doing by not giving the bank its money. It's monthly payment for the privilege of driving stuff that you've already paid for. Anyway, never could figure out how those a-holes got away with that, with these monster trucks all over, you know. But really heavily modified things, you know. I remember one time, though, I'm coming down the street, and one of those trucks had actually lost a wheel. The truck was sitting there like this, you know, one side of it was canted over like that, and the wheel was laying on the ground beside the truck. It was at a stop sign. Lost a wheel at the stop sign. Anyway, and I just thought, well, good on you, you fool. You know, really. Maybe it wasn't very nice of me, but that's what I thought. But anyway, let's have a look and see what washers we have. Ooh, there's a washer. Look at that beautiful washer. Oh boy. See, I'm very happy to have lots of washers. I am. I do like having washers, I'll tell you. As I always say, one can never have too many washers. Ask anybody, I actually do say that. Anyone who knows me will tell you they've heard me say that. One can never have too many washers. I'm very washer-wise, you know. Go through here, I'll pull out all the likely candidates, and then I'll settle on which I'm going to actually use. That's what I'll do. We'll take an informal poll, we will. Yeah. That's right. I once did take a Polish person, actually. Abducted them right out of their house. Got into a lot of trouble for that. But yeah. No, I didn't. I'm just teasing. I didn't really do that. I never kidnapped a Polish person. No. But that would be taking a poll. Technically, that would be taking a poll. my great-grandfather, Charlie Doobie, had a bunch of cats that he said were trick cats from a Polish circus. He said he bought them from a Polish circus. I don't know if the circus was going out of business or if they were just not going to have trick cats anymore at that circus for some reason. But he did buy a bunch of apparently a bunch of trick cats from a Polish circus. That's quite a thing, you know. Not everybody can say that they've owned trick cats from a Polish circus. But my great-grandfather could say that, because he did, apparently. So he said. He might have been a liar. I don't know. He might have been just telling lies. I really don't know. But that's what he said anyway. That was my mother's grandfather on my mother's side. My mother's father. That's who he was. Charlie Doobie. And Charlie Doobie apparently was the proud owner of a bunch of trick Polish cats. There's a copper washer. That's got to be worth a lot of money, I'll bet you. I'll bet you that washer is worth at least $7,000. I better keep it. I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want it to be said that I used a $7,000 washer to fix a wheelbarrow that I ran over with my truck. I already look stupid for running my wheelbarrow over with a truck. The last thing I need is to look even more stupid because I used a $7,000 washer to fix it. When a 50-cent washer would have done the job just as well. I got a bunch of these out here now. We're going to keep going, though, because I'm not finished yet. You know me. Oh, boy. Yeah. Hey. Holy smokes, Rocky. What do you think, my cat? He looks kind of tired, you know. I think the years have caught up with him. He's getting old, like me. And it's affecting him, you know. It affects me, too, the old age does. I mean, just listen to the way I talk. You know? Only a tired old guy would talk the way I talk. Anyway, I gotta go all through these and see what I can find. There's no point of me subjecting you all to my foolishness for any longer. So I'm going to hang up the phone now. I am. Rocky's excited. Earlier today, Rocky saw birds in a tree out back of the camper there. He was looking through the window. He got really excited because the birds were there, and he was like, "Oh, birds!" And he was like, "Oh, he's got to get the birds," you know. And he was just like right there and stuff, and he was all excited. He was having a bird. He was having a bird attack. That's what he was doing. He was so excited about the birds. Yeah, you know, see, I combed his fur today, and there's little tufts coming out now. I literally combed his fur an hour ago, and you can see little knots and tufts and things coming out. People keep accusing me of neglecting him by not combing his fur enough out or whatever, but it's just the way his fur is. I mean, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just the way it is. I do comb his fur, but probably if I didn't comb it, it would be even worse. There's a nice looking washer. Look at that. That's a fine specimen of washer hood right there. See, it's got a nice, that hole there is very nice. I like that. And the edges are superb. And it's got a nice sheen to it. Yes. I believe this one will have to be set aside. There we go. We set it right there. Yeah. Anyway, I got to keep looking for washers, so we'll see you later.